On this vote, the yeas are 285, the nays are 144. The motion is adopted. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
Lawmakers make an agreement and the country is back up and running. But at what cost? There are still so many questions and the impact is still being determined. Today on Delmarva Live, financial expert Memo Derricker answers some of your questions and tells us what it all means.
Short term, long term, we've all heard these words when it comes to disability insurance, but do you know what sets them apart? State Farm Insurance Agent Hunter Emery joins us to tell you which insurance is right for what situation and how much is too much and when it's not enough.
You've probably heard stories about cyber attacks. Maybe it's even happened to you. Entrepreneur and television reality star Bill Rancic joins us to tell you how to protect yourself from being compromised.
You go to the movie theater, you're excited to see the flick of your choice. You pay for your tickets and you jump in line to get your goodies. But before you make your pick, you may want to consider what you're getting ready to put in your mouth. We help break all the scary snack stats down.
And we're in the kitchen, and this time we're not failing our recipe challenge. Well, Brian isn't. We actually have a delicious recipe you'll want to write down. Today we're making lobster roll, and it's just one of the delicious dishes you can taste at an upcoming event. We'll tell you where and when coming up. Delmarva Life starts right now. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisa Bryant.
And I'm Brian Spiros. Welcome to Delmarva Life from historic Studio D.
Well, it happened.
It happened.
It wasn't the 11th hour. I keep saying it's the 11th hour, but I think it was more like the 8th hour.
Yes, if you're trying to figure out what Lisa's talking about, it's official. The U.S. government is once again open for business. This comes after a 16-day shutdown and as the country was about to lose its authority to borrow money. Now, Congress passed legislation late last night. Because of that, federal employees who had been furloughed can now go back to work, and many national parks and monuments have also reopened.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in detail. Financial expert Dr. Memo Derricker is going to explain why the country is okay for now. But for many people, they're just happy to see everything back up and running, like you say.
Exactly. A lot of stuff is expected to go into the early part of the year, and then we may find ourselves in another situation. So Memo will explain all of that.
Holding it all off.
Yes.
We want to remind you that our friends at Sussex County Federal Credit Union are holding a community food drive now through this Saturday, October 19th. You only have 2 more days to donate. All the food collected will benefit the Food Bank of Delaware. As we mentioned yesterday, the Food Bank is in need of donations to help feed the hungry this holiday season. If you want to donate, you can drop off non-perishable food items to one of the credit union's 4 locations, which are in Seaford, Milford, Lewis, and Millsboro.
Obviously all for a good cause, so if you have some extra stuff, bring it down. Halloween comes a little early if you take the kids to the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center this weekend. The 7th annual Trick-or-Treat Street event is Delmarva's largest indoor safe trick-or-treat event. Now each year families and children under 12 are invited to come out in costume for a safe trick-or-treating experience and to have fun. The event will also host free Halloween-themed photos and family activities. Now attendees are also encouraged to bring canned food items to donate to the Maryland Food Bank and the Food Bank of Delaware, as we obviously just mentioned, all for a good cause.
And here's the event details. It's this Sunday, October 20th, noon to 3 p.m. at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center. Now, your birthday is on Halloween?
I was born on Halloween,
So does that mean that if they're celebrating Halloween Sunday, do we have to celebrate your birthday Sunday?
Technically, it's my birthday Sunday then, and then I get another birthday next Thursday or whenever it occurs, yeah.
Another family event you might want to take your children to. The children's play, The Tale of Sleeping Beauty. It's going to be presented this weekend by the 2nd Street Players. You know the story. Because of she didn't get her way, an evil fairy causes Briar Rose and her royal family to fall into a deep slumber. And if you're interested in going, The Tale of Sleeping Beauty is Friday, 7 p.m., Saturday at 1 p.m., and Sunday at 1 p.m. at the Riverfront Theater in Milford. To make the show more accessible to the entire community, admission is pay what you can. So just pay what you can. For more information, call this number, 302-422-0220. And like I said, the show is for the entire family.
For everyone. Well, you've heard of Shark Week, right?
Yeah.
I think it was just a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago. Well, in Easton, they have Bark Week. It leads up to Talbot Humane's Bark in the Park, which is going to be taking place this Saturday. Now, Bark in the Park is a free festival. There's the Bark in the Park Unleashed 10K and 5K races. You can also catch canine competitions with a dog show. Now, Bark in the Park is Saturday, as I said, October 19th. It's from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon at Idlewild Park in Easton. And the event happens rain or shine, and I may bring my wife and my dog down.
There you should.
Yes, so, 'cause I'm right
Absolutely.
there. I'm
Keely
right
would
down
like
the
that.
street. Exactly. Now, speaking of animals, when you think of Australia, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
And I assume you're going with animals. I'll say kangaroos.
Yes, I kind of gave it away. Well, yes, and most people would probably say a kangaroo. And you would think they would be just about everywhere except for maybe in the airports, right? Well, a kangaroo managed to hop its way into the airport in Melbourne. He had injuries to his feet and claws. It's believed he was maybe hit by a car and then managed to get onto the airport property, onto the tarmac, and into the airport. He went right by travelers, hopping along, and went in and hid into a pharmacy. Wildlife officers had to subdue the kangaroo with a tranquilizer. He was then taken to an animal hospital for treatment. Certainly not something you see every day.
And I saw a news story on this where a lady said, you know, people think that kangaroos are going to think that kangaroos just run everywhere in Australia, but it's not the case.
And it was a very smart kangaroo because it had injuries and it went right to the pharmacy.
Oh.
So we need to give that kangaroo some credit.
Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, many of us know him from his reality TV show with his wife Juliana, but did you know Bill Rancic has an extensive business background? And today he's talking with us about cyber attacks and how to keep your digital information safe. Plus, Bill has an update on his family and, of course, baby Duke.
Plus, protecting your family means preparing for the worst. Could you live without 3 months of paychecks? What you should do now if you answered no.
And later, we head into the kitchen to make lobster roll. That's right, we're going to learn the key to cooking the perfect lobster, including where to find the best meat.
And while we're talking food, we're going to take a closer look at movie theater treats. From the sweets to the other snacks, do you know what you're actually eating? The sugar and calorie content may surprise you.
But first, a late-night deal prevents the country from having to default on loans and reopen the government. But does that mean the crisis is over? And what about your money? We'll sort it all out next. Delmarva Life will be right back.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future. Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. Your local York and LG dealers, and State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Scary snacks, so that's the only thing we have left.
Give you Scooby snacks. I guess I could help you with this one. Sit back, throw my ass up. Yeah.
I've had the best 2 weeks of
Oh yeah, good point. I'll sit back now. Yeah. And I will not supervise.
No, you're not allowed to supervise us right now, actually.
Exactly.
You're not the boss of me now.
And you know what's sad about that? The headline of CBSNews.com then was wrong because it said 15 days. It was updated at 4:30 this morning.
Oh.
So, yeah, no, she's probably right. But right on, if you go to CBSNews.com, right at the top, and it says 15 thing.
The shutdown started the same day
Yeah.
as the exchanges started, which was October 1st.
It depends on how you count.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, I just want to remind everyone that for the noon promo, Steve is not doing the noon, but he's doing the 5, so we're not going to make a reference to anybody.
Hey, you.
The whole thing or just the first paragraph? Read the whole thing? Yeah, I'll just read it up until where Lisa says coming up in the show about memo. Okay, ready? This comes, hang on, start over, sorry. I saw the prompter going up and it stayed on Sussex County. I didn't know if we were waiting. That's what I thought I was going to read. I'm just going to read it off this. Okay, ready?
2.
This comes after a 15-day shutdown, and as the country was... Oh, sorry.